shall have time with him so that he can also say a word. Otherwise, once again, welcome. I just want to confirm that I'm audible enough to everyone. Am I audible, Mr. Ramadan? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Violet. Thank you for that feedback. So I just want to...
Yes, you are very audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I want to just go straight to our today's topic. Today, we want to go through or learn how we can navigate the Microsoft Forms platform and see what the package has for us, and also what we can do with the platform. Just want to share the screen. Is my screen visible, Mr. Peter?
Yes, sir, it is visible. I can see Microsoft Forms.
Oh, great. Okay. So Microsoft Forms, this is one of the Microsoft products. You know, Microsoft has a lot of products in it. And so one of it is Microsoft Forms. And for the purposes of our training today, we are going to see how to come up with forms and the surveys. So we want to have just a background of what the Microsoft Form is. And so we are told here, Microsoft Form is an online survey creator. If you want to create a survey, then the best platform or the best application for you to use is Microsoft Form. And so you can create what we call a survey. You can also create what we call a form itself. And the form or Microsoft Form is part of Office 365. And Office 365 is just a gallery of applications, a gallery of productivity tools offered or owned by Microsoft. And so Office 365 was realized or came to place in June 2016. And Forms allows users to create surveys and quizzes, which can be automated in form of the marking. If it's a quiz, you can have an automation in the marking. Then the form can also be used to collect data from people. Like if you're doing a research in the higher learning, probably you're doing a master's and you want to collect data from people. So the best platform for you to use can be Microsoft Form, because for this one, you can even later export the form to Excel, or you can even print it to PDFs. So if you export it to Excel, you can analyze it better with the Excel tools in it. Then some people ask, is Microsoft Forms a free application? And the answer is yes. It comes in both versions. We have the free version, and of course, we have the premium version. So it is free for anyone, but of course, you must have what we call the Microsoft account. So if you are a new member, or if you are just a beginner, and maybe you're wondering how to get started, then this is the right time. After this session, probably be able to create a Microsoft form once you have a Microsoft account. And I believe those teachers employed by TSC have Microsoft accounts. with the Microsoft email address, which is mwalimu.com. So if you have that account, then in those applications, one of them is Microsoft Form. So how do we get started then? So go to a Microsoft Form with your Microsoft 365 or school credential, if it's a school account, or if it's a personal account. In this case, the personal account comes with the domain Hotmail or Live or Outlook. So whichever way you choose to create the form, you can use your work account or the school account if you have it. For this case, for those teachers under TSC, you can even use the Office 365 package that your employer has provided. Alternatively, you can sign up for Hotmail, you can sign up for Outlook, and that account comes with a Microsoft form. So once you do that, then you can just log in to office.com just from your browser, then look for the Microsoft 365 icons on the left, and then select the forms, either new, or you can also begin from an existing document. So we have a number of items here that is we are supposed to do this, and I intend that by the end of this session, I should have demonstrated how to create a quiz, more specifically a math quiz, and also create a form or a survey. Then in it, I also need to show what we call branching, then demonstrate how we can do the sharing, how we can make a form collaboratively with other educators, how we can limit the timing, can play around with themes and the existing templates, and also import a preset assessment document. I don't know, Felix. Felix, are you in the house?
Yes, Joel, I'm here. Thank you very much. That's an elaborate program that you have there. I hope you can hear me well.
Yes, I can hear you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Fellow teachers, thank you very much for convening once again this evening. And as we delve into assessment in the 21st century, I just wish you the best. You have the best from the best, and you are the best. So let's just continue with the program for today until we see the end of the same. And I believe all of us will benefit from the learning today. For the best. Back to you, Joel.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir, and welcome. So I just want us to jump on the practical part. So I go to my browser and search office.com, portal.office.com. Please mute if you are joining with your mic and video on, kindly mute. So this is my account. It's my work account. And so we said on the left side, we have the action buttons. We have the applications lined up here. And the first one is Outlook. We have Teams, we have Word, we have Excel, we have PowerPoint. Then apps, more apps are hidden here. So if you feel that you have got to this point and you don't see the forms or the Microsoft forms, then you can go to this action, the app launcher, click on it, you will see more applications. So at this point here, if you hover around, then you get to see your forms application is there. Click on it to open. Right, so if it opens, this is where it takes you. And remember, we are supposed to come up with either a form or a quiz. Okay, you can create a form or a quiz. And the difference between the two is that a quiz can be scored.
Excuse me, Joel.
Yes, yes, please.
I'm not just seeing the screen, your screen. Please, can you stop sharing, then share again, maybe? It's a matter of network, maybe,
Okay.
please.
Okay. We try to share once again.
Possibly it's from his end. Possibly it's from his end because I was getting you. The screen was on.
Okay, what about now?
It is on. The screen
Okay.
is on. It's okay.
Okay,
Now I can
thank
see
you.
it. It's okay
Okay.
now, thank you.
All right. So I was saying, when you launch the application, that is Microsoft Forms, you are given two options here. And the first option is either you create a quiz or create a form. We shall see how you can also import an existing assessment or an existing document to the form. But the difference between a quiz and a form is that a quiz can be scored. In most cases, a quiz is what we call an assessment. So you assign scores, you can award the marks, you can also uh, set the timing in which that quiz is supposed to pick the responses from the participants, or if they are learners, for this case, it's going to be your student. Then a form is basically used to collect data, as I said earlier, that if you're doing a survey, or if you are just maybe doing a training like this and you want feedback from the participants, then the best place for you to go is creating a form. So I want to see how we can come up with a form first before the quiz. So if we have the form opening like that, this is the interface of the form itself. And so we can give the form a title. So maybe this is a feedback form. Let's say feedback training feedback form. Feedback form. That's the title. Okay. And then you can give a description. The description here is maybe just a narrative of what you want the participants to do in regard to the feedback form. So maybe you can say, kindly provide the feedback here. Okay. You are not limited in terms of the characters here. And again, still on the title or the heading of the form, you can as well put as a picture or a photo that is maybe communicating to what the form is all about. So click on this icon, it takes you to a place where you can search for photos from the bin. You can also get it from OneDrive. You can also maybe pick it from your own computer if that is what you want. Okay. So maybe we get just a photo from being, maybe let's say a photo related to school, then you search. So we take this and try to add it here. If you have stable internet, then it should pick very fast. So that is the starting point. Now, if you move down here, you are now supposed to start populating the questions. So you are told add new. So click on add. You see a number of options. Do you want to add a question that is the responses, the people acting on the questions will be forced to choose from the multiple choice, or do you want the respondents to actually type? Do you want to put a rating scale? Do you want to put a date? The down arrow here has more options. Can even, if you want to prompt the user or the respondent to upload a file, you can go to this section. So probably for us, we can just say choose a choice. So click on that, the question comes, that is question 1. I say full name, then no, the full name, this is let's get back to first one. Let's see, some moment. Let's say let's have this question as a text, so you put your name and text. Yeah, so if this is full name, okay, so you see there's a space where you're told to enter your answer here. Then you, if you want to make this question compulsory, you hit required. Okay, so the respondent will write his or her answer here. Next question, we can add a question. Now, if you hit the next question, you are given some recommended questions. So you can just pick. If you feel like all these questions you needed, you can add all. If you feel like you need one, how could the training or workshop be improved? Maybe you pick that question. Okay. Add selected. You realize that question 2 we have not typed, but we have just picked from the suggestion. And of course, this one is also a question that the respondent will also be required to put to type in according to the question requirements. And if we need to put another question, let's say add new, and probably we say let's put a rating question. Maybe rate the presenters, mastering instead of content. Yeah. Rate the presenters master of content. So you realize that this is a rating question. And so you can decide to have the stars, that is the levels, or you can decide to have numbers, you can decide to have thumbs, you can decide to have flags, you can decide, just play around and see what is good for you. Maybe for me, I can have the stars. So there are 5 of them, and then I hit required. And let's put another question, the 4th one. How likely are you to attend another one? Another one of our training workshop in the future? Maybe we pick this, then add the selected question. So here already the choices are preset: very likely, neither, unlikely, very unlikely. Then the last question. Let's see, what did you like least about the event? What did you like most about the event? How satisfied were you? Let's just type. Yeah. Don't want this, you can just remove them and then put the question yourself. And let's see the text. This is question 5. Say you like to notified. You like to be notified. to other trainings. We have other trainings. You like to be notified when would you like to be notified when you have other trainings? Okay, so I just want to introduce the aspect of branching here. So let me remove this. And then I add it here as a choice question, so that the answer can be yes or no. Yes and no. Okay, then the last question, provide your email address. Provide address. Okay, so if you have such question set, then you can review. Now the action on preview shows you how the respondent will see the form in the computer or using the mobile. This is how it's going to appear in the mobile, and this is how it's going to appear in the computer. So at this point, I just want to see if we can introduce branching, but before then we can also see if we can do this survey. So if you are the one receiving this form and you need to act on it, then you ask it full name. Let's say Joel. Then how could the training workshop be improved? Maybe integrate ICT, ICT, for example. Then rate the presenter's master of content, maybe say 4. How likely are you to attend another one? Maybe say likely. Would you like to be notified when we have other trainings? Let's say yes. Then provide your email address. Let's say Joel at Gmail. Okay, so when you submit, this should give you a thanks message that your response has been submitted. Okay, that's how it goes. Then if we go back, still on the form, here you see one response. So if you are the one who has set the form, you also need to check on the responses section so that you see how many people have responded by a certain specific time. And then still on that, we can play around with the theme. If you go on themes, theme is just having the background that is more pleasant. If you feel the white background is not good for you, you can go to themes and probably choose what you like, the theme that you like. In this case, you can probably have a theme. Maybe if I choose this, if I choose that, then I can add. If I choose that theme, it automatically comes. If I choose this theme, it automatically comes on the background. I choose this theme, it also comes. And so if you go to the preview, you'll see your form in this way. So the background has been customized the way you want it to be. So that is about the themes. And then at this point here, there's this button which says collect responses. For you to collect responses, you need to share this form. So the sharing has to be done. The sharing has to be done, and there's a way you can do it. The sharing, you can do it maybe with the link. You can create a link. And this link is actually pre-populated. And so your send and collect responses. Only people in my organization can respond. But if you click down here, we have other options. Anyone can respond. So you can pick on anyone can respond, because if you are not just targeting a group of people in organization, then the best option for you is anyone can respond. And then you can also shorten the link. Click on shorten the link icon, then copy. So if you copy that link, you can share it maybe in WhatsApp or anywhere. You can share it in WhatsApp and see that people can act on that form. So if you get the form, you can play around, see whether you are able to fill and provide feedback as well. Okay, so the other way in which you can share the form is you can come up with the quick the QR code. Okay, the quick response code. You can download it and share. This is also another way. So you can use either the link method or the QR code to share this form. Then the three dots here, where we have more settings. If you click on the three dots, we have this first option which says collaborate or duplicate. So to collaborate means if maybe this form is meant to be work for two people, maybe Joel and another person, then I hit on collaborate and I can get a link to view and edit. I can share as a template. And then if I get share to collaborate, then it means I can get the link and share it to someone who I feel we can work together. So if this person gets the link, then he is able either to change the theme, or he is able to add questions. He is able to maybe add sections depending on the agreement that we have. So that is collaboration. If you go to settings again, then this action centers. We say the first one that who can fill out this form. So of course for us we said anyone, right? Then other options here, the form accepts responses, but most importantly here we are saying you can also restrict the time. At what time do you need this form to be active? Okay, so you can set the date, start date, and the end date here. Okay, so if you click start date, then you are supposed to fill the date at which the form should be active, and then at what point in the future that this form will expire. So if you do this, probably you want people to act on the form in like 2 days time. So you need to calculate you see the number of hours and the date, and then you capture them here. It will really help you to get unnecessary responses maybe after the time expires. So I'm seeing 2 responses here. Someone has responded. That is good. So if I go to the response section, I can see the responses and also the person who has done the response. This is good, meaning that this form is working for everyone. Meaning that the form is working for everyone. Okay, the other thing that you can do to this form, you can print the form. You can print the form. You can also change the language. If maybe you are working with international students, then you can also change the language in which these people understand. You can print the form and have it as a soft copy. That is also something you need to understand. So up to that end, I don't know, are there questions? Esther is saying still you can't see. I don't know, are you not able to see the screen, or what is it that is not visible from your end?
I'm okay now. I can see now.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so I want us to check at the the quiz. This was a form. This was a form which is actually meant to just collect information from people. And then you can analyze it. You see from here, you can download this into Excel sheet. You can print it as a PDF. So if you click here, it comes here as a Excel sheet. You can open it, do the analysis in just a very simple step, just like that. Okay, let's not get into that. The other section is the quiz. The quiz now is the assessment, and the assessment here, for our case as educators, sometimes we think how hard in how we can integrate ICT in assessment. And one of the best tool that you can use is Microsoft Forms. You can pick the form and make an assessment, which you can also collaborate with your co-teacher or any other teacher that is sharing the same topic with you. So we go to forms again, and then the other thing that you also need to realize is that what we do is automatically saved. We are not saving anything because we are working online. So like our form is here, it has just come here and it's saved. I can get back to it and do some amendments if I wish. So the quiz is our next item. You give it some moments to load. So you give it a title again. Here they say algebra quiz. Okay, algebra quiz. As we said, you can also put an image here, which also is very related to algebra in maths. If we can get one, so maybe if we can pick this and add it there, then put it load. Okay, let's put another one. Put another. Let's see what is. Algebra quiz, we just want a picture which is actually related to what we want to do in the quiz. Yeah, this looks like my internet is not all that strong. So under description, maybe you say answer all questions. Answer all questions. Maybe correctly. Answer all questions correctly. Those are just my instructions. You can put the instructions the way you want them, and then hit on add. Now this is a quiz, but specifically a math quiz, because I just also want us to explore how we can see the math functions and the characters in maths, how we can integrate them. If we hit on add, then we can this is a choice question. It's a choice question. Then we see find the value of x, for example, find the value of x. Then still on the action area of this question number 1, here we are told option 1, option 2. This is where you put your answers. But moving down, we have the 3 dots where we are told there are more settings. You hit on it, and we shall, if we hit on the more settings, then we should get the math function. So we have maths here. Maths. we have mass here. So if you you select the mass function, then you are told to enter the equation. So find the value of x. So what is the equation? Maybe you say x, maybe x plus 5, x plus 5 is equal to what? Equal to 4. Okay, x plus 5 is equal to 4. Okay, then you say add. Okay, now if you do that, then there are suggested answers coming, 4 of them. So the first one with a tick is the right one. Then the others are distractors. So if you are okay with them, then you can say add all. So if you add all, you have question 1 with a tick, meaning the learner has to choose this question as the right one. Okay, then the others are distractors. So that is question 1. And of course, question 1 is required, meaning this learner cannot skip this. Then you add another question, hit on add. Now this is where we have the magic. You see, we have recommended questions already as the system is giving us. So if you like this question, this question, this question, which is an algebraic question as well, then you say add all. So when you add all, then you have 3 questions with the right answers populated for you. Okay, I think this. So having that in mind, then this can easily remove the stress in you that you really struggle to come up with authentic assessment when the system can do it for you. And then, as we saw earlier, this assessment can also be, you can download it or you can print it into a paper. If maybe you are not in areas of network connectivity, you can have it on paper and also submit it as a hard copy. But if you want to use it the way it is in the online version, then the answers ticked here, these are the right answers. The student will not see the tick. He'll see all the questions and then he will calculate and then choose the right one. So if you go to preview, this is how it's going to be seen on the computer. And this is the first question, then second question, the third question, and the fourth question. Then anyone using a mobile phone, this is how it's going to be seen. So let's see if I can share this and you people can work on this assessment. You have the time. Again, on themes, you can choose on the theme that you want. The one that is related to algebra and mathematics, probably this one. The one that you feel has a clear communication to what the form contains or what the quiz contains. Okay. That's how it feels. That's how, if you share the form online, then one feeling that this quiz is able to see the quiz in this layout. So hit on collect responses, then you say N1, you shorten the link, copy the link again here, and send it to probably WhatsApp platform or any platform. You can also embed this link to our website or to your social pages if maybe it's a learning management system. Okay, so copy the link and share it here. That is now the link for the quiz. So if you have responses, they will come here. And if you click on the response section, if anyone has the time, you can check that that quiz. You can do it. It's not a must for you to get everything. Just want to see a response here, so we can see see how the responses come. Okay. If we go back, we can go back to the questions. We need to add some points here. A point is 0. Let's say this question has 5 marks. This question can have another 5. Then this question can also have another 5. This question can also have 5 marks. So 4 questions with 5 marks each. Yeah, this is good. I'm seeing people responding to the form, to the quiz. Yes. Yes. This is how it appears. Then for me, from my end, I can review the answers, click on review answers. I can see this one is anonymous. The name was not provided, which is okay. This person has got 5 of 5, the first question, the second question, on and on up to the last question. I can also go back and post scores. Okay, can post scores here. And hit on this person and put the scores. If I feel like maybe the working is not clear, the system has given you 4 and 5, but there are errors probably in the working, because if this is just a multiple choice question, but if you have to work maybe on a piece of paper and see if there are errors, then I can assign or can give 4 points instead of 5. Then I can add some comments here. So maybe this is great, check on spellings, probably. So, at this point, I'm just reviewing the answers and posting the answers, but the system has automated that assessment for me. The only option I can also review, I can assign some points, either depending on how your explanation has been put, either the elaboration or the calculation, if it's a maths assessment the way it is here. Yeah, this is good. So people are answering, seeing 1, 2, people have got everything right, others are struggling. That's okay. That's okay. It's okay. So up to that point, I don't know. Are there questions? There's one thing I have not demonstrated, and that is about branching. So let me get back to the questions. We'll get back to our form and do the branching from here. Sometimes you see a form that requires you to either provide an email address or to provide information that, depending on the question, the way you answer it, either the form will end or it will prompt you to answer more questions. And so that is what we call a branching. So like this is our initial form. We have question 5, which says, would you like to be notified when we have other trainings? So if I click on this question, I have the setup or the settings for the question. Down here, more settings. I click on it. There's shuffle options. Shuffling meaning that these questions can come in a different order. Okay, I can add a drop down, I can subtitle, I can add the branching. So our main concern here is adding the branching. So I click on add branch, and what comes, remember I have question 6. Okay, so the question number 5 says, would you like to be notified when we have other training? So if your answer is yes, then if your answer is yes, then of course we shall need your email address. So if your answer is yes, then you check the question which comes next. Okay, your answer is yes, then you say provide your email address. But if your answer is no, then the form ends. Okay, so if you do that, now you have done what we call branching. One person will fill the form up to number 5. Another person, probably depending on the response to number 5, will fill the form up to number 6. So I want to share this form again and then see how to behave from your end. Okay. The form has 5 questions, but the fifth question is dependent on the fourth question. So I just want to share this form once again. Anyone can respond, copy the link. Before that, I can shorten the link, copy, and then share it here. Okay. Then share it there. So very quickly act on that form and see if you answer yes to question 4, you'll be prompted to go to question 5. If you answer no, then the form ends at that point. See whether that is the way it's designed from your end. Responses are still 2. Want to see a third response.
Excuse me, Joel.
Yes.
Joel.
Yes, I can hear you, Tobias. Oh, sorry. So it's saying that the time has expired. The form currently not accepting. Okay.
Yes,
It's like
that's the issue.
It looks like I restricted the timing. Okay. The time you see now, if you leave it open, then it will accept. But if you lock it at some point, it's not accepting responses. Thank you for that. And at least we are just experimenting what we are doing. So I again copy the link and then share it here. Okay. So have a look at it again. So as you do that, maybe you can drop some questions, maybe on the chats, or you can raise up the virtual hand if you have questions, because we are almost winding up. Juma is saying, is it choice questions? No, we have a number of alternatives. So if you go to the form, if we go to the form, please mute. If you go to the form questions, someone is asking, is it only trace questions? Okay, so maybe if you want to add the 5th question or the next question, that's the 7th question. So the choice button is the first option, but you have text where you can write. The response or the answer to the question asked. You can also provide a question that demands a rating. This is where we have what we call you measure the opinions, or you check in terms of to what extent have you maybe achieved, or to what extent have you understood a certain concept delivered. can also have a question that demands you to put a date. If you hit the down arrow here, we have ranking. This is where you drag and place the choices in terms of which one comes first, which one follows in that logical order. Okay, then we have what we call Likert. Likert is also about checking on the attitudes and opinions of a topic. That also is at your disposal. You can also have an upload. You can upload, you can prompt the user to upload a file. And so this is also another action. Net Promoter Score is another. Then you can also have sections. You have seen forms having several sections. Okay, maybe section A, section B, section C, on and on, depending on the content that the developer of the form is up to. So you can develop sections as well. So these are all areas you can play around. We have just checked on choices, but there are other options you can also check around and use them. How does one upload? Already said question. Okay, that is a good question. So if you have already an assessment, probably you have designed an assessment in Word, and you want it to maybe upload it or use it in forms. So what you do, you go to the Microsoft Forms, and of course you should have launched your Microsoft account Office. Then you go to the link www:/forms.office.com, and this will take you to a new blank form. And at this point, please mute. At this point, you'll see 3 buttons here on top. So you have new quiz, new form, then quick import. And of course, there are templates to be used here. If you don't want to come up with a survey from the start or a form from the start, you can also choose the templates. These are templates, and you can even get more if maybe these are provided here are not the best for you, you can get a more templates. But you want to upload a preset assessment. This is where you go. You hit on this, and then it is going to ask you, create a new form or quiz by using what you already have. So upload from this device. Okay, so you can upload a Word document, you can upload a PDF. Please mute. Please mute, who is this? Kindly mute so don't spend more time. So you can upload a Word document, you can also upload a PDF. So you hit this button here, it will take you to your computer, either in the desktop, in the documents, wherever the form of that assessment is reset. So if it's on the desktop, for example, then the desktop, then you choose which is the assessment that you want. Let's say this is assessment in Word. You open it again, it's going to ask you.
You might need to stop sharing, and first of all,
Do you
that guy is mute. Always on mute.
Hello, Felix.
I'm saying there is a person who has not muted their mic. It's called Rev, and I don't think he's in the meeting. Maybe you can just first of all go to the contact number to the people of this meeting, and then mute that guy. I don't think he's in the meeting.
Okay.
But I cannot do it that because I think I joined with a guest account.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Let me see. Brave.
It is somebody.
Okay. Am I still audible?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. So I just wanted to complete the process of importing.
Sir, you have not
Kindly
muted
allow
him.
me.
Please mute him.
Kindly allow me to mute everybody and then you unmute yourself.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, Robert. Okay, so I was here. So we want to import our document. Just maybe we have a preset assessment in our desktop. So you hit this button, and then you choose where. I mean, you just locate the document where you saved it. Probably it's on the desktop or in the document section. And let's say this is let's say let's say this is the document. So I open it, and again it's going to ask you, do you want to import the file as a quiz or as a form? So it's you to choose. For us, maybe let's take it as a form. I'll give it some seconds to load. It's saying converting your documents are successfully converted. So you start the review and review it and see whether all what you wanted is okay. So if this was an assessment, probably a question paper in PDF or in Word, then you basically have it here, and then you can do the review. You can play around, remove some content, add some content, and that is how simple this system makes work. Okay, Tobias saying concerning the quiz form, I have seen the response from Anonymous. Can it be set to know who has? Yes, of course, this should be captured under maybe the first item as what name, the full name of the person, so that if they are learners, you know which learner has submitted, which learner has not submitted. So the first question should be the name, full name or official name of the one who is required to fill in the form or do the quiz as well. Okay, so
Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Where should I respond? I don't know. Motto, where should you respond? Any other question? Please can raise up the hand or put it on the chat. Okay, if there are no questions, then I just want to, I guess, I don't know whether we started by praying, but I just want to have Felix again. Maybe you can say one or two as we wind up. Then we can pray and have a good evening. Welcome again, Felix.
Thank you very much, Joel, once again for leading us in that informative session. It was one amazing session. I like the way you go slowly by slowly and you're able to capture our attention. And sometimes, you know, because we have everyone Some people are at home, people are cooking ugali as they listening. We might have challenges, but I think it's okay, and we are grateful for your session that you've led us in, and we are really looking forward to experimenting when we get opportunity. I think we have a very short time at school, so sometimes it's not possible to do all these things. But what I normally tell fellow educators is that just learn these things. The day will come, you'll be in Uzbekistan, that country, I don't know, it's called Uzbekistan, and you'll be required to use that skill that you've learned. You'll be in America, and you'll be required to demonstrate how to use technology in the classroom. So don't limit yourself and say, oh, you know, I don't have computers in this school, so what am I doing with all this? It's a moment to learn. Learn as much as you can, and one day all these skills will make sense. We, in the process of also at STEAMLabs, we're trying to find ways in which you can engage many more teachers and how we can get their attention. Most of the times when it is not attracting or it's not giving people money, people think it's not important. But don't worry, the EdTech and Innovation group is passionate about transforming education in Kenya. And so what we're going to do, we want to see if we can do sessions. I think there is someone who was unmuted. If someone can help me to mute that person. Yeah, just to state that we are trying to find a way in which we can how we can manage, how we can have more interactive sessions. So we are in the process of thinking that before end training, we'll be having a panel discussion talking about that area in education, especially like today we had a session on assessment. So what are the ways we can do assessment in our schools, in our classrooms? I think Rev is back with this mic on. Someone might need to remove him for some reason. Joel, if you can go to my people and you can do that, because we need to really ensure that no one is messing up other people.
Okay, let me check on that.
Before we can continue. Okay, someone has muted him. Yeah, so I was saying that we want to be seeing if it's possible to do a 30-minute panel discussion, and we can call people like Mr. Matari, like Saidi, who has been very consistent, Daniel, you know, those people have been there. And just to first of all hear what what is it that they can say about what's happening in the classrooms and in schools before we now dive into the session. And we're also looking at, sometimes, you know, our Saturdays are busy, but we can do it during the day, because I think it will open doors for even other people out there. And that way we'll be able to, you know, we can do 1 hour, 30-minute session, or 1 hour, which is like 45 sessions of learning and 15 of asking questions. But also we can do 30 minutes or even 15 minutes of a panel discussion. So we invite a specialist even from around the world. And then after that, oh, sorry, Mr. Rev, I'm so sorry. But you have really affected our offering today. Yeah, I was saying that we can get some people from among our team in the EdTech and Innovation Week, not in the Innovation Week, Innovation team. And then we have a discussion, we hear what the world is doing. And then from there, now we go and learn a tool. It doesn't have to be Microsoft all the time. We can learn another one like Google Sheets also, or Google Meet, and learn how it works also. And that is the enrichment we want to have from time to time. I feel like if we do that, we'll build a very empowered community of educators that are going to transform the African continent. A few minutes ago, I just saw that message I've been saying a lot, that the population of East Africa and West Africa is booming, and we need to prepare our generations to take Africa where it belongs, to be a world power. We have seen what Indians are doing. Already we have most of all these tech companies and big companies like IBM, Google, Microsoft.
and probably Safaricom is going to be taken up by an Indian. And the Prime Minister of the UK is not ashamed, leave alone us guys who keep complaining about our leaders being religious. We have seen the Indian Prime Minister of the UK now. You imagine the Queensland is now headed by an Indian. What I'm trying to say is that one day not Kenya is not Kenya. UK is going to be led by an African person, and that person is in your classroom today. So once we learn these skills, let's see how we can bring them in the classroom. If it's not possible, let's keep improvising, and one day it will make sense to all of us. Not a moment at STEAMLabs will you waste a minute. You'll always learning. You'll always be learning. I think that should be our motto. EdTech and Innovation Hub, always learning. Okay, so at that point, let me stop at that. And let's see what happens in the next 2 weeks before we convene again and have another discussion about another tool. Joel and I will also be sharing a form where we can ask you to input some of the topics that you'd want to hear about. We have so many things, by the way, things maybe some of you know, others don't know. We have things to do with maker spaces, I don't know, STEAMLabs in schools. We have STEAM clubs, topics like Google for education. What does Microsoft offer? Things like inclusive education. How do you help children with learning disabilities? Not about physical disabilities, but even mental disabilities. Those are topics we want to delve into. And so as I conclude, I want to say every time we have done a course like this one today, we will give you a course to go and learn something about that, whether from Microsoft. We said we are technology agnostic. We're going to give you a course that you can go and do so that you can improve or you can continue learning a lot about that. I will suggest to Joel to lead us in talking about inclusive learning for the next class. Inclusive learning. How do you help children who are always behind in the lessons, in the classroom? How do you help such students? Because they are part of our class members and they are gifted differently. How do you help that? So inclusive learning might be the next discussion that we have. We are going to have a panel discussion for 30 minutes. We might agree what time. And then after that, we are going to do 1 or 2 tools that we can use to achieve balance with all the learners in our classes. And so with that said, I would just want to say thank you to each and every of the teachers that joined us today. I'm going to place that course Joel has just taken us through on the chat. It's on the chat for each and every member to look at it. You can look at that course in the next few days, the next maybe 2 weeks. I think in the next 1 week, because the other week we'll give you a course and tell you prepare for the inclusive learning discussion. And then also Joel has shared a link for feedback. Please give him feedback. He's an amazing educator. Let's keep shining a light for him. Every time you're doing a session like this one, take a photo with your phone or screenshot and share on your Facebook, share on your TikTok if you are on there. And just say Joel Kahindi is leading us from STEAMLabs Africa. And I am glad to have joined this session and that. Let me tell you, one of these days, someone will come for you just because you're pasting or posting on these social media platforms. It has happened for me, it has happened for Joel, and it's happening for many other people out there. Let's do this, guys. We are so empowered and we continue to empower one another. EdTech and innovation in Kenya, always learning. Back to you, Joel.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Felix, for that inspiring and encouraging words. I just want us to have a photo. Maybe you can open up your camera if you don't mind, so that we can get a photo. Then someone will lead us in a prayer as we leave.
Despite,
open up your camera, guys.
despite the challenges of internet, we would be doing these meetings online, you know, with our cameras on. But it's okay. We'll get there. Thank you, guys.
This is wonderful. Just 1, 2, 3 minutes. Okay, that is one. We get another one.
I think, where do we take these photos, by the way? We need to be taking them somewhere. Thank you, though. All right, then. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, thank you. Tobias, can you lead us in a prayer if you don't mind, for giving us a blessing for the night? Okay, Tobias may be having a challenge. Anyone to pray? Daniel? Virginia, pray for us, please.
Okay, let's pray.
Okay.
Mighty God, we come before you this evening, our hearts full of thanksgiving, oh God. We thank you for the wonderful session that you've taken us through, God, and how we pray that all what we've learned, we'll be able to use it in helping our learners achieve their objectives, oh God. Thank you for the wonderful facilitation, God. Thank you for STEAMLabs, for helping those of us who are still lagging behind technologically, oh God. How we pray that you'll continue giving them your blessings, oh God, and even for the participants, be with them as we continue carrying out our noble task of helping the young generation. Be with us until we meet again, oh God. We pray that shortly, believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you,
Amen.
Virginia.
Amen.
Yeah. Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What a presentation there from Joy Kahindi.
Thank you, sir.
It's a refresher course, Bana Felix Malombe. It was, let me rate it at 5 out of 5.
Thank you for that.
Thank you. Bye.